to a defensive culture. It's not like he went to Andy Reid, Sean McVay, Shanahan. He went from a defensive coach and a defensive culture to the same thing in Pittsburgh, just a better run organization, better owned organization, better operated, but it's kind of the same thing, right? Well, he was on a podcast recently and with Cam Hayward, and he said, no. Pittsburgh's way different.
Coaching Pittsburgh or Chicago?
Pittsburgh.
That was it's not close. Come on.
What's it like with Arthur Smith?
It's been great with him so far. Just his, competitive spirit, and he's really smart. Definitely knows how to kind of detail plays to his player strengths. So that's always good to have in an OC and stuff like that. So it's been great, and I'm kind of just still learning each other each and every day, and kind of how he operates in the game. But everything's been smooth, and he's been awesome.
First thing he said is, it's not close. So you either have a disgruntled ex-Bear, and he didn't sound like it. There's no proof he was ever an angry kid. He's a good kid. Everybody likes him. Sounds happy. Or it's a coaching thing. And my eyes tell me it's a coaching thing. O-line has regressed badly. Run game's disappeared with the new OC. So the defense is still good with Eberflus. I've said, I don't know if he's a head coach. He can coach defense. Defense still good. Nobody's scoring a lot of touchdowns on the Bears. That's not it. No, it's the OC. And, this is crazy. From going from the Bears to the Steelers culturally in terms of their defensive coaches, their defensive cultures, their tough towns, and he said it's not close. I thought he went from like a studio apartment to a one-bedroom. It sounds like he went from a studio apartment to Bel Air. And we all knew coming into this season there were 4 or 5 coaches on the hot seat. So Dennis Allen, but he hired a really good OC. Mike McCarthy, he remains week to week, or at least year to year. Nick Sirianni's more week to week. There was Robert Saleh. Well, Aaron's upright, getting protection. He's good for now. The thing that's interesting is I don't like interim coaches, and Eberflus does show an ability. He knows his side of the ball. I think the bigger issue is ownership and the offensive coordinator. But can you get rid of Shane Waldron in season? Now, the Bills have done that with Josh Allen. They did that. They moved out Ken Dorsey and they moved in Brady. But Josh Allen was an established superstar. And Sean McDermott's there. And that's a formidable organization. Nobody's going anywhere, right? McDermott got a little heat, but that's Buffalo, believe it or not, now is really formidable, foundational. So you can make that little move in the season and go, hey, we're just going to shift OCs. Chicago's leaking everywhere. So I don't think you can make that move. I don't think you can make that move in Chicago. So, it's just really interesting that Justin Fields, he's not a disgruntled kid. I didn't love him as a quarterback, but he's a lovely guy. Like in Chicago, everybody liked him. I couldn't find anybody. Nobody banged on his personality. It was his accuracy. Everybody liked him. That's not. And when you listen to him on the podcast, he sounds happy. He's laughing. But for him to say it's not close, we don't look at Pittsburgh and go, offensively, that is Google. Those guys are out there changing the world offensively. We've been banging on the Steelers' offense forever. Can't get the O-line right, the run game right, the coordinator right. So maybe it's just Arthur Smith, and that could be it, just Arthur Smith. But, I'm watching the Bears like you. Now, the big game this weekend, that Rams-Bears game is, I know you're looking at it thinking, well, Rams, a losing record, Bears, a losing record. No, that game means something. What if the Bears torpedo it and just look like a hot mess offensively again? What do you do? What do you do? Now, J-Mac, he took his 401k. He's moved it all to the Windy City. I am not so sure. Blazing 5 and a good one.
Chirpy offseason, is the highest paid receiver on the team, and he's doing nothing so far for San Francisco. Well, 49ers legend Steve Young, who's got something to say all the time, says missing all that preseason time is the reason Brandon Ayuk is struggling. Here he is.
Brandon needs to look it in the eye. I'm sure there's things, maybe the plays haven't been called for him as much. Maybe there's some things, odd things that happen on certain downs where he wasn't the primary when they thought he would be. But in the end, the full measure of what's happened, Brandon needs to own it. Like I've come back, I missed the camp, and now I'm not. It's not happening. So I have to take that on myself. There's no blame other than yourself. Own it.
That's right. He's totally right.
Niners screwed this up.
Well,
I should have traded him way back before the draft.
I will say they drafted 2 wide receivers. So you were clearly unhappy with the noise. So then move off the noise.
Man.
So now I think if Pearsall had that incident, that near tragedy, and he hasn't quite been what we think, apparently he hasn't been in regular. I mean, he got banged up early. Then there was the awful.
He got shot.
No, yeah. So he was banged up early in camp.
Yeah.
That hurt, shoulder injury, which is reoccurring. And then he had, the incident in San Francisco. So this year's just a throwaway year. But my take is they made a move in the draft signaling we see noise coming, we're going to move off it, and they didn't. They doubled down on Ayuk.
So Ayuk has 11 catches for 119 yards through 3 games. I think Jawan Jennings eclipsed that last week against the Rams.
Yeah, and
Jennings is good.
And we like Ayuk. I like him a lot.
As a player, yeah.
I don't know him as a guy. I like him a lot as a player.
Everything I've read about him as a guy and heard and seen the contracts, that's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, same here.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
Less drama, right? I know you like kind of drama kings, right? Don't you? Like all these.
I'm okay. You have to be driving wins, revenue, rating. You got to be driving stuff if you're drama. Once the drama outweighs the reality of what you're creating. Like, I like Randy Moss, but Belichick's like, I'm winning trophies with Deion Branch. I'm not. They moved off Randy. Randy got unhappy. They moved off him, and then they won with Edelman and Gronk. So I'm not anti-Randy Moss. He's one of the best players I've ever seen. But if they had 2 Super Bowls, if they beat the Giants, then I'm going to pull up with more.
That's fair. I would counter that more people respect or thought that Randy Moss team was better than any Deion Branch team the Patriots ever had, right?
That's sweet. Where's the trophy?
I mean, they went undefeated in the regular season, I know you didn't.
So that makes the loss
trophy.
even more disappointing.
Lost in the Super Bowl, but...
Okay. Seems like it matters to me.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
My standards, I guess, are out of whack. Winning.
Let's go to another receiver to wrap it up. Justin Jefferson, excited for the Packers-Vikings game, especially his personal beef with Jair Alexander. The last time these guys were healthy, Alexander held Jefferson to 15 receiving yards and then hit the gritty in his face. Justin Jefferson, of course, made the gritty pretty famous in the NFL because he's a damn good dancer. Justin Jefferson's talking trash back to Alexander.
He likes to do that stuff to get inside someone's head. I'm not really tripping on that. I'm gonna just get back by grittying in his zone. So I'm not tripping on it at all. I'm excited for the matchup.
I like this game. I don't have a pick yet. Do you?
I just want to watch the game.
Yeah.
I did not put this in Blazing 5. I can't wait to watch the game. There's 2 schools of thought. Jordan Love hasn't been playing, and now he faces arguably the best defensive coordinator in football.
Who likes to blitz?
And he just hasn't played, and he may not be 100%. The other school of thought is Minnesota's really good at home. Now you're going to Lambeau. Going to be a little regression. Sam Darnold can be reckless. Green Bay's taking the ball away like crazy. So to me, you can sell me on when you can sell me on 2 outcomes, I stay away. I could see Green Bay getting to Sam. He gets a little reckless. Or I could see Brian Flores driving Jordan Love nuts. He's throwing stuff out there, and the young receivers, Jordan's been inactive. I can see both outcomes. I don't have any conviction on this.
It is interesting. Vikings undefeated, and they're 3-point underdogs on the road against a team with a hobbled quarterback.
For the record.
It's one of those,
For the record, and it's weird, underdogs are crushing this year.
They're barking.
So last year, favorites won, meaning the fans won last year. Fans won last year. The books are winning this year.
Fans are broke right now.
Fans are not doing well. Even last night, Dallas was the better team, and I lost by half a point.
See, this is why the early in the week betting stuff.
Yeah, but Blazing 5, I don't get to do that.
Well, we need to maybe have an amendment.
You know what? You and I, from now on, Blazing Fives on Monday.
Well, I think if Monday you come out and say, I bet the Bears and the Cowboys at this line, lock it in. You can't do all 5, but you can do a couple.
Ryan, let's vote on that. We got 2 that agree with that.
Yeah, it's done. It's fast.
And Ryan, buzzkill Ryan's like no good.
No, I mean, if you could come out Monday and say, hey, I'm already taking this and here's why, I think that counts.
Ryan just said in my ear, the segment is for the fans, not the sharps.